Well, hello everybody. It's Rob Travels with Dottie, and it's Saturday, the 7th of June, 2025, and it's 102 degrees out there, and it's well after 4 p.m., and I'm on my way in to pick up a pizza, and I thought I'd have a little chat on the way in. I was looking at my YouTube statistics and feedback from YouTube on various videos, and one video I did today is doing particularly well, and YouTube gave me some information on it. They said, more of your regular viewers are watching this more than normal, which is really helping you out in terms of total views. You may want to look at what you're doing here and maybe do more of it, because it's a sign of what the people that view you, it's the kind of thing that they want. And I think what I stumbled on was I was saying, I have a home base. This is my home base. Why am I doing it? Right? What are the reasons, and what were my thought processes? How did I make the decision? And people really seem to appreciate that. So I decided, heck, I'll do another video on my way in about the fact that I'm going from here in Artesia up to Eagle Nest for the summer. I'm here in the shoulder seasons, meaning the spring, and technically it's still spring, it's almost summer, the spring and the fall, but Eagle Nest in the summer and Quartzite in the winter. And as a nomad, how did I come to these decisions about where to stay and where to go? Now, before I tell you about my decision-making process, let me say one of the beautiful things about the nomad life is I can decide that next summer I'm not going to Eagle Nest. I can find another place to go. I can decide I don't want to go to Quartzite again. I want to go someplace else. There are lots of other options. So let's talk about Quartzite first. That's kind of the easy one for me, because that's the first place I went when I retired. I got on the road and I headed towards Quartzite, and I knew watching YouTube videos that Quartzite in the winter was a mecca, a meeting spot for people in this lifestyle. And I wanted to meet people, and I wanted to be part of that community, and that was the place to go to make that happen. So that's why I went there. And I went there where I signed up for a rally with a YouTuber, and it's a couple named Next Exit, and they don't have rallies anymore, but I was lucky enough to be part of their last one without almost 100 rigs out in La Posa South, meaning out in the desert and outside Quartzite. We all parked in a big circle and we're together for, I think it was about 10 days, a week or 10 days. And I met people that are good friends of mine ever since, and it really introduced me to the lifestyle and to the people in it, and it was just a wonderful experience. And I fell in love. I definitely fell in love with the desert. I love the desert, and I really liked the little town, and there just was a grin on my face the whole winter. I was like, I want to go back there. And it supercharged my YouTube channel, and people were interested in my Quartzite content, and that got me even more excited and supercharged. So Quartzite became and it's affordable. In boondocking, it's $180 to stay in a long-term visitor area for like 4 months. This year it's a little bit different. I'm going to be for the first time in 4 years, I'm going to be in an RV park in the town of Quartzite for 4 months, and that's going to cost me $1,300 plus whatever electricity I use. So that's quite a big difference, but I doubt I'll keep doing that. But I wanted to have a different perspective for a year, and in particular, it'd be great to have the YouTube content be about, hey, this is what it's like to winter in town with full hookups, a very different experience from boondocking and being more in nature in the desert. So that's what's going on this year. Eagle Nest. How did I find Eagle Nest? Well, the first thing I found out about it, of course, through YouTube. So much information I get from YouTube and from friends that are in the lifestyle is 2 summers ago, there was a great thing where in the state of New Mexico, I think it was $225. You could buy, if you're an out-of-stater, an annual camping pass, and in any one of these parks, a hookup site, which was water and electric, was $11 a night, and then there was like a $12 reservation fee, but it was inexpensive. $11 a day, and you got to move every 2 weeks. So for a month, there was $24 in reservation fees, and then about $330 in camping fees. So less than $400 a month. I'm got full hookups in beautiful parks. So I started making reservations, and I started hopping all over New Mexico. They have beautiful state parks. Now, the bad news is it's quite a bit more expensive now. They hadn't raised the rates in a long time, so I think the out-of-state is like $600 for the pass, and I think it's like $15 or $20 instead of $11. It's not good. It's a lot more expensive. It's still affordable, but it's not the great deal it was. But I did it. I had so much fun that first summer that I went last summer too. And as I went from park to park, I'm doing YouTube videos, and a lot of what I do is I go into businesses and I talk to the owners, and sometimes I interview them. I get to know people in these small towns, and these parks are almost always around small towns, and I love small towns. So I'd spend 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, and I'd get to know people. Now, many times you'll go and, do you mind being on camera? Oh my God, no, I don't want to be on camera. A way out of that, though, is to say, how about if I interview you, but the camera will be on me and we'll just hear your voice? And most of the time they say yes to that. It doesn't matter, because it's still good content, and I get to know people, and I get to know like insider stuff about the area. So I was really getting to know about local areas. That's pretty exciting, right? Eagle Nest. There's a state park in Eagle Nest right on the lake. There's a big lake. The village of Eagle Nest is right on Eagle Nest Lake. And I was all excited because I knew there was a state park there, and it was closed last summer. I was really bummed out because I had driven through Eagle Nest more than once, and it looked really charming and great, and I wanted to stay there. I decided, well, I hate to do it, but I'm going to shell out the money for an RV park. And I think I booked a week. And it was, by the skin of my teeth, I went to Weathers RV Park, and I called them. By the skin of my teeth, I got in, because it turns out these RV parks are very popular in Eagle Nest, and people come in and they book up often a year ahead of time. But she was able to get me in there for a week. So I went in there, and within an hour, I met, if you've been following me, my friends Charlie and Diane. I met them, and I've told this story 10 times, and now it'll be 11. My first day there, I'm out walking Dottie, and I knew to get back to my rig, a real shortcut to go through, kind of cut through someone's site, and the couple was sitting out there. So I thought I'd ask, hey, do you mind if I cut through your site to get to mine? And their answer was, Dottie can go anywhere that she wants. And I was like, I was baffled. How do you know my dog's name? It's still early enough where I didn't make the, they said, we watch on YouTube. And that was Charlie and Diane, who've become dear friends since then. And Charlie's up there right now. And I'm going to see him tomorrow. Diane will be, I think, she's doing, I think, stuff with the grandkids, and she's going to be up in another week. But I get to spend the whole summer up there with them, because this is what happened. I was there 24 hours, and I'm like, I don't want to keep going to state parks. I want to stay right here. I did videos, and the video in town. I got to know people, and the more I got to know the town, the more in love I felt with it. And I got to know the owner of the RV park, and I said, "Kid, is there any way I can stay longer?" She said, "Well, are you willing to boondock for a little while?" I said, "Of course, yeah." And she had a big open field property she just bought next to the RV park that was totally empty. She said, "If you can stay out there and then, when I have a space available, or someone cancels, I'll move you back in the park." And I said, that's great. And it was a beautiful spot, kind of apart from everybody else, with a beautiful view of the lake, and it's sort of somewhat isolated. It was perfect. And a few days later, she said, "Well, you can move back in the park." And I said, "Is it okay if I don't do that?" She goes, "Of course." And, I didn't tell you, she ran out an electrical cord to me on a meter. I had to pay for it, so I had electricity out there, and there was a bathroom in the park like 100 feet from me, so I didn't have to use my toilet at all, really. I could just go to it was perfect. And I stayed there until the middle of September. I think I got there end of July, so I stayed there quite a while. And I got the same spot and the same deal, and I'm going to be up there tomorrow. And one of the owners of another RV park there, a guy named Nathan, wonderful guy, he said, the best way to describe this community is it's like going back in time 30 years. And he's absolutely right. It's just, I'm as excited. If you've been watching me, I'm totally excited about this town of Artesia that we're in right now. And I'm just as equal excitement about Eagle Nest. And it has to do with the people. The people are just so wonderful. I always brag about, I like to brag a lot about Artesia, and one of the things I brag about is it's a bustling little town, but people don't honk their horns. They don't honk their horns. It's like, I really think that's a tell about a community, that people are kind and have patience. I love that. And I don't think I hear any, and Eagle Nest is so much smaller that there would be much less cause to honk a horn. But to give an example, I got distracted at a stoplight, and it turned green, and it had probably been green for a long time. Nobody honked. There were people behind me. They were just patiently waiting. They were okay with it. And when I realized where I was, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I got out of the way. And I made friends with people that stay in the RV park up there in Eagle Nest, and they come back every year, like people like Charlie, wonderful people like Charlie and Diane. So that's how I made those decisions, and I'm quite happy with what I'm doing, and like I said, it can change it in pretty much any time, right? And I'm here at the pizza place. I have arrived. See if I can get a shady spot. It's Domino's. So that's my story. That's how I made those decisions. And tomorrow I'm going to be I'll probably release this video tomorrow morning, but the video I'll be making tomorrow is I'm going to be doing a lot of footage of my road trip from Artesia to Eagle Nest, and it's going to be about a 5 or 6 hour trip through some really beautiful country, and I'll show you that, and I'll show you my spot when I get there. So Monday morning you'll see the video on getting to Eagle Nest and what it's like. So thanks for watching, and Dottie and I and George will see you tomorrow. And yeah, Dottie's with me in the car, not George, but Dottie.